Hey guys, this is Pastor Alex here. Just here wanted to give a few thoughts about the beginning of a new year, 2023, and some good intentions and goals and perhaps resolutions to make in the coming year from a Christian perspective. There's a character on a show that I used to watch quite a bit that he would make sweeping declarations, and usually it was comedic because he would say he's going to do the opposite of what he was currently doing, and everyone kind of laughed because they knew that he wasn't going to hold to that sweeping declaration. I think many times that's what people do with New Year's resolutions. They make a sweeping resolution, a pretty drastic change, like a 180 change, but they don't really have a clear plan or set intentions on how to keep that and make that dream a reality. And so, here's just some thoughts on that. So, for example, for my life, um, I've been trying to be healthier and lose some weight in the last half of the last year. And good news, I've been successful. I've lost about 30 pounds. But I'm not quite where I want to be yet, not because of vanity or anything like that, but just for health, for energy, for longevity, for focus, for being able to be strong and be here for my family, and particularly set a good example for my younger kids. So for this coming year, I have some specific intentions to set and some specific goals and some incremental change to get going. So one of the things that I'm doing is setting a goal to do 10 to 15 minutes of yoga 3 times a week. That's a reasonable goal. I'm currently hitting that, but I'm adding in 2 30-minute sessions of cardio throughout the week. So feel free to ask me, mid-January or February, how's that cardio goal going? Hold me accountable. For spiritual formation, I'm going to be going through Oswald Chambers' My Utmost for His Highest. Someone recently gave me a copy of that book, and it's one that I've heard good things about in the past, but never really did it. And so another minister and I are going to be going through it together and meeting just to kind of share about how that's going. How's that speaking to me and to him, and we can share how God's using that resource to form us into his son's image. And so that's a good thing to do. And so how that works is there's a devotion every day. And so it'll be pretty obvious if I didn't do it, and we meet up, we can be honest with one another and do that. And so I would encourage you to find a friend, maybe through our church or through your workplace, if you find out that there's another person who has similar beliefs as you. And, whether you're going through a book of the Bible or a devotional together, there's a lot of great resources out there that are daily, some that are frequent throughout the week. So feel free to ask me if you need help with that. Other people set the goal to read through the whole Bible throughout the year. I've done that in a few years in the past, and I've really gotten a lot out of that. Basically, if you read for 15 minutes a day at the average speed that people read at, you would complete the Bible in 1 year. And so there's several reading plans that are good. I recommend the 1 year Bible reading plan because it breaks up. There's some Old Testament, there's some Psalms or Proverb, and there's New Testament. And so usually, there's just parts of the Bible that as you're reading through, it's not going to be particularly speaking or seeming relevant to you and your situation at that time. And so if you're getting a good mix of Old Testament, New Testament, Psalm, and Proverb, there's usually going to be something in there that speaks to your heart and gives you clarity and direction. So I'd recommend that to you. I think the other thing to think about when you're setting a New Year's resolution is, or a goal is, I kind of try to view life as a journey. And so oftentimes I know I've set goals and then achieved them 6 months later, and the goal just seemed like empty or not that big of a deal. And so some of that is because the reason behind that is because the person we are at the start of going towards the goal and the person we are when we achieve that goal are oftentimes very different people. And so setting an intention for that and then setting goals that match that intention and you viewing it as a journey, not a destination, I think will be helpful. So, like for instance, for faith, you could say, man, I want to be a person of prayer, and so you set some goals that you think, your intention is to develop, cultivate a more prayerful posture and position and like default. And so you might set different goals, like frequency of prayer, types of prayer, some reading some books, or listening to some audiobooks or teachings by different prayer warriors you admire or respect. Some of that might be giving to hold yourself accountable, like I will pray with people when they're sick, or when anyone asks me to pray with them, I'll do it on the spot. Different things like that, to where you're not just saying that you have a goal that's not achievable, like goal, be a prayer warrior. Well, you might argue that you're already doing that, or you might have that as a standard that's unattainable. So anyway, just sit and reflect on where you're at in different areas of your life. And if you're interested in meeting with me, talking with me about what that might look like for you in your life, and you just need somebody to help encourage you, hold you accountable on your journey, I'm happy to be that person for you, or to direct you to somebody. But anyway, just some thoughts on setting some intentions, some goals, and some intentionality for going into the new year of 2023. I know for many of us, myself included, this past year has been good but hard, and looking forward to changing the page on the calendar and just having a new year, a fresh start. So anyway, know wherever you are that you're loved, and that you're being prayed for. And if you need any help or could use any just discussion about some of the things I mentioned, or you have questions, feel free to reach out. Text me, Facebook Messenger. I'm not always the best at responding to Facebook Messenger, but I do try to be more diligent on it recently. So anyway, hope you have a happy new year. God bless.